Hello YouTube, it's Team Endgame here, bringing you something new in the form of a discussion. Now, to start off with, in this, what we call it, episode...
Guess you could.
In this discussion, we're going to talk about Crossrides.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Crossrides. So, to start off with, the end. Now, I wouldn't...
Getting right into it, aren't we?
Yeah, right into it. I think...
Well, it was on the first act. You might as well start at the beginning, work your way across.
That is fair.
See how
What
it...
about Phantom Blast? We need some love too.
Yeah, well...
It'll be second.
Yeah, it'll be second. But, right, I'm the end player of the group. Now, I won't see it as a cross-ride focus. It's more of a just stupidly overpowered card. Overpowered cards over the threat and just a deck, really.
I agree with that. It's a constant threat, and it's... Even if you have like one card in hand, and I know what that is, but you've got 2 face-up damage, you could just go...
And I think that's what it is, because it's not a limit break.
Yeah.
It just makes it even worse.
So it's playable quickly, you don't need to wait for it. It has the potential to go to 13 if your hand is that bad and you need to win.
Yeah, you build a deck, and the worst thing you can ride
is a normal overlord.
Yeah, it's a normal overlord. So then you go, I finally got it. I've got 13 base, which people will have to go, I've got to rejig my field.
Pretty much.
At that point, because if you've got the end, you can swing over rear guards with anything anyways. It's just...
I honestly fear that quite a lot early game. If it's their grade 3 ride and they ride the end and they have to 2 damage, I'm like, got it.
At that point, you kind of let it through. Unless you got to hope they don't have it.
It depends. If you know they've got it, it's kind of annoying.
Okay, that's the thing. I don't mind saying that because obviously we're not in competition and things. So, with the end, I feel as if rearguard presence is terrible. If you see the end player drop their hand, swing over their rearguards because they don't have enough draw power to replace them.
Yeah, but it's the support the end's got. It doesn't have the draw power support. That's what the end is. That's what the end theoretically does. It gives you that draw power support.
Yeah, but that's only if it hits. If it hits, you're going to win anyway. So, there's that. And also, Promise is such a nice card in the deck. If people don't abuse Promise, your rearguards aren't hitting anything, especially nowadays, 11's everywhere.
Well, you say that. I see people do it still. They have Promise in the deck. It's not a problem.
And also, put it in use an Overlord as a rearguard.
They do.
With a Promise behind it. That is so nice.
You're just throwing out your...
This is
how you play Kagero, by the way. Oh, that's something about the end over there. But this is how you play Kagero.
Mike, really though.
But I think this is a nice thing to discuss, because we go through them all and tell you what we think the best way to play it is, and the decisions you make as well is nice. Because I never, ever, ever, and these guys can vouch for me, go for the cross ride if I have it in my hand.
I know you don't.
Because I don't have the draw power to do anything, so I might as well... I'll counterblast, search for the Promise, put it behind the Overlord and the rearguard, the end as a Vanguard, swing, if I get a crit on that, Soul Blast with a crit.
Yeah, so you've got the pressure of your Vanguard, you've still got rear guard presence because
you've got it
you're not
on the
wasting the card cross-riding.
And the rearguard's just... most of the time I'll have 2 full columns with the Promise, Overlord, whatever, and the end, and just 1 at the front. Just do a niggly 5, swing.
Sack Force. Shush.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. If you go for the cross ride, you've got 13. So if people don't want to don't want to redig their field, it's like, well, this is either a 5k guard on the Vanguard or 10k on rear guard. I'll just attack a rear guard.
And also, give up on it, guys. If it's not going to hit, give up on it. If it's a damage for game, drop the damn card. You don't need to keep the copy in your hand just to play the damn deck. You can drop it as a rear guard if you're lacking presence. I know it sometimes helps, but drop the damn card and play Berserks or something.
That is one of his
give up on it.
Massive.
That is just one of your bugbears.
Yeah,
it is. I hate people for keeping it in their hand. So just drop it. You've got nothing on the right. Well, if it hits, it's not going to hit. You saw him dropping a perfect guard. He's going to guard it anyway because a crit will kill him.
Okay, Mike, that's enough.
Okay. But also, re-riding is nice as well to get Promise's effect off again. Because I'd rather hit for 21 in a column and just re-ride. Because if you have no soul, then it's just like 15. Mm-hmm. And I'd rather not replace a booster or something. Just re-ride. It's another nice little tip to take. But other than that, we all know the end.
I think everyone's seen enough of that for now, to be honest.
Yeah, but I think I covered it quite nicely.
There's a reason why it just dominated format. it just dominated box after box coming out because it's I don't need limit break. I can do a silly effect.
And crits and draws are lovely. And if you've got a bad hand, just search for an Airemo instead and mill it away. Which is also lovely because the amount of times I've not got it in my first 2 drive checks. Discard to draw. Oh look, the end.
Okay. I think we've spent enough time on the end.
Well, no, that's...
And Kagero in general, it seems.
Yes.
Basically, on how to play the end and a Kagero deck.
But that's what we're doing, right? This is discussion.
No, we talk about Crossrides, not the end.
As in the
It is
cards.
the end. The end is a deck.
No, we're not talking about the deck. We're talking about the
I am not talking about the
card.
deck.
You are talking about the deck. Drop it as a rear card. This is how you play the deck, not the card.
Right, I'm talking about Phantom Blaster Overlord then. We'll move on.
Well,
I think that covered it nicely.
Depends what you want to talk
actually.
about, because I personally play it as a Crossride deck. Basically, I do not
You sit on 13 and you're like,
Yeah,
what about it?
I don't.
That is definitely
I do not care about. Well, for starters, don't use the ride chain. Don't care. You should probably see my deck breakdown of it.
I like the ride chain. That's the deck, that's an opinion, but I like the ride chain.
The reason I don't like the ride chain is because I find people go, well, yeah, Blaster Dark. Oh, look, it's 11k Phantom Blaster. I don't care. Phantom Blaster Dark is useless in the deck, in my opinion.
You need room for the grade 2s. It's so tight.
Because if you're going for the cross ride, all you need in there is Phantom Blaster Dragon.
Yeah.
If I needed to have Blaster Dark in there as well, it'd be stupid, but I'd have to put it in there. But since I don't, I just focus on those. So it's 3 and 4, 4 and 4. I can't remember what way I did it around. And then I just focus on the main and.
You do. You went 3 normal Overlord, 4 Blaster Overlord.
Yeah, because you just put it into solve them.
Because you always you didn't
paint.
mind riding Phantom Blaster Overlord first because you had the one that puts into the soul.
Yes, yeah, for consistency. But basically, I need to make sure I get the cross ride off. So it's 13, which is a bit of a pain because then I start going for my rear guards. But most of my rear guards in the main, so it's 3k. It's like, ooh.
Or you use it as your 5k intercept because it's better guard than it is.
Because of that, I just changed the focus from power and retiring and crits to I'm just going to use the main, get rid of grade 3, draw cards. I always stick out, so I never win.
But like, would you use its effect ever? Like, would you just go for its effect, or would you think I can have a boost?
I personally do not like using the Persona Blast at all.
It is a heavy cost.
It is 3 counter blast and a
Persona
blast.
10k crit.
For 10k crit. The only time I would use it if I'm absolutely dead certain they do not have a perfect guard in hand.
I've never seen you use it full stop.
But the fact it's free, it means that I can't Maca. I can use Maca and then that.
Sounds like it doesn't matter.
Shut up.
You deserve a slap.
You really do.
So I've only got 2 spares, so either 1 Maca, no domains, or 2 domains, no Maca, and that. So I'd rather just keep using the cheap ones, 2's counterblast to get my field out, basically. Oh, and that's not much to say. Yeah. It hits 21 with a 8k behind it, which is easy enough to do.
Entire deck support for it, you'd go for draw power over and just use it as a defensive card. It's just to search my deck for what I need. That's your advice on how to play Phantom Blaster Overlord. Use it for a cross-ride deck and use the rest of the deck for support and guarding.
That's my way of playing it, yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with that, yeah.
But I've never seen it in competitive play. And I haven't used it myself because I always deck out.
You've played the deck, so competitive play aside, you know. Well, I've always used competitive decks against you with it, and it does compete.
Yeah, it can hit 18s and stuff easy for cross rides. It can hit 21 Vanguard, blah, blah, blah.
It can hit columns, and you keep hand riding it to keep yourself alive.
It's a very good deck. I'm not saying it's just.
I deck out.
It'd be nice to have a nice different starter. Yeah, that's the only issue.
Hey, as soon as I get the Grade 3 Researcher, that's in. But
yeah, then that's it. It's done.
Other than that, as I said, I never use it in tournaments because I deck out.
Oh, there are better cards. There are better decks that you use.
Moving on. So Yuri's turn. How's your great Daiyusha? Go ahead.
I love it. I mean, it's so like I don't want to say basic because at the moment all their support it's just you pretty much run every dimensional Robo you can, and then just go yay. When you can get the limit break off, it's like, well, I'm attacking 15 unboost with a crit. And for God's sake, if we're going to complain about people using decks, why the hell do you use the 10k specific Vanguard booster? It does nothing. You put an 8k behind it, it's a 10k booster hitting 23. Oh, I can hit 25. People run 11k Vanguards, it does nothing if you can hit 25. Whoop-de bloody doo. You're hitting 25 over there 11. Good. I'm so glad you did that. They got perfect guard it anyway because it's got a crit.
Okay.
But it has to be on limit break, which is its big downside. And in the deck, you're only superior cool if you have basically you're grade locked, or you're going for a push and you want to put things in Soul to Soul Blast. Otherwise, you really don't want to do it. But you have to be on it, so you basically have to ride normal and then get its effect off, and then you just sit behind it, critting and forcing the cards out of the hand because they don't want it to crit. But because it's limit break, you can't crit early game.
What about starts, like putting out things?
At the start, you put it. I find you put it out if you can go 1-2, but not the Great Daiyusha, normal Daiyusha, and then Great Daiyusha. If you can't go 1-2, normal Daiyusha, Great Daiyusha, then you keep it in because you have to have 3 in Soul. You have to get his effect off, or else your deck does nothing. You're just sitting there going,
Hey, you got Mika.
Attack. What do you do with that?
You're drawing cards, is what you're doing.
Yeah, but you don't counterblast. That's why I love it so much. It's counterblast free effect. The superior ride is counterblast free. You just don't counterblast, so you have
and power and things. You really want
Apart from Dailander.
Several Daiylander, but Daiylander's awesome.
Dailander's amazing.
Yeah. So it's got lovely support. It kind of makes itself, but we've upped the Meek account just to...
Yeah, well, it pretty much does make itself. Actually, that's a problem with it. It doesn't require, like, to build a deck, the only real thought goes into, do you want to run 4 Meekers or 3, and your trigger lineup. But...
And what do you go for?
Well, I go 6 and 6. 6 draw, 6 crit. Because, I mean, it's stupid to say, but double crit, you're on 4 damage. It's 4 crit attacking you, you're on 2 damage, you die.
Yeah, but
It's that
when you run more crit in that case.
They have no draw power otherwise. Like, you can say, oh, you got Mika, but Mika's... You just rely on Mika to go off. I struggle with boosters. Like, I don't know why. Every deck I run, I struggle with boosters. So I don't... But Mika's on 9, attacking over 9, people drop 11k walls. Or 10... Or even at 10k, I can't get over that. So I'm just quite happy just to sit with that in my deck at the moment. It just works so well. It's fun. It's just, I don't know why. It doesn't do anything. It's not technical. It's not like Angle Feathers. It's not Aqua Force.
No, it's true.
It's just fun to play, though.
That's true. I was playing it earlier. It's just, I don't know why. It's just like, yeah, it's a dimensional Robo. Yay, clap, clap. Fun to play.
Yeah, it's just fun to play. Also, the grade 2 gets 12k from grade 2. That's why I love it. 12k swinger.
Is there any more support coming out they use? Or?
Not for a long, long way away.
Oh, you got your trial deck coming soon.
No, not coming soon.
No,
coming soon to Japan.
For Japan, yeah.
But we got like years off before we get anything good. But I still like it. I think it's competitive. But again, it's very easy to play. You just you can rewrite to sit on 11 with the effect, but otherwise it's fun to play.
Yeah, so it's consistent enough.
Oh yeah, it's the consistency of it is
even when it's not consistent, it's consistent because you've got the superior core.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, so you go, I'm grade locked. Woo!
and like with the extra support, it's just going to make it even more consistent because you can then say, oh, whatever my hands is, if I'm grade locked for 3, I can definitely go haha superior ride. Just later on, you go haha superior ride and break ride. But yeah, it's consistent enough to be competitive in my eyes.
Because of the crit.
And yeah, definitely because of the crit.
They're good.
Yeah, I'm being upset.
I remember something about the end. One other thing that bugs me.
Stop it!
No, one other thing. Bellicosity. Why run it? You're not flipping anything up unless you hit with the end, so don't run it. Because if you hit with the end, you win. So just run Berserk Dragon and give up on the effect. And that's it.
I told you. Right Bellicosity. Conroe. Put booster.
That's the
Swing,
only reason,
unflip.
because you have the first 2 damage, you're able to hit the end, with the end. But, yeah. Bellicosity is a terrible card in that deck.
Leave the end. Leave the end alone.
That was the one thing I forgot. Anyway, moving on. Back to me again. Glory Maelstrom.
Good card. I like it.
Now, this...
It's such a weird card.
Goes against Aqua Force.
This is, in the right built deck, a broken card. As a pushing card towards endgame, it is broken.
Or with damage adders.
I'll tell you what I think of that right now. It's a tech card. You run it in 1 or 2, and then late game you rewrite into it.
No, I think if you make a Glory Maelstrom, you can make a deck focus on it, and I think it's silly. But the problem is, it forces you to pretty much use all the damage adders to push yourself to that. Because there's only one count. There's only one for its ultimate break. But then you run crits and you can haha. Whereas most...
You'd swing for that 21 column thing late game, and if you run crits and you can only guard with 10s, you're not really going to be able to guard it, and there will be plenty of crit for game opportunities. But
I just don't feel it fits with the Aqua Force out.
no, with the Maelstrom build, it's only in there for the fact it's 11k and there's a re-ride late game because any damage would kill you
or
anyway.
because it's 11k. Yeah, I think he said
Yeah,
that.
that's it.
Yeah,
So it's switch with Basil or something. So yeah, I'd love to make a build around it, but it's so hard because you build it in such a different way to a normal Maelstrom build. You wouldn't run stands, you run crits, because what is power without a crit, we always say. So,
Has that become our slogan or something?
yeah,
I hope so.
as one of our many
So
slogans.
that was Niggly 5.
that Niggly Fat. That is a deck.
That is, you either have a Niggly 5 deck or power and a crit.
Yeah, so, yeah, Niggly Fives.
I just think it
That's
does.
actually all you have to say on it, isn't it?
Yes, it's not a lot to
Is
say.
do you always go for the cross ride or?
No.
Only late game.
It's only in my build in case I don't find a Maelstrom, and then I'd raid ride the normal Maelstrom over the top of it because I don't want it.
Well, I just think normal Maelstrom actually has a threat. This sort of goes... If it's late game, it's sort of... That,
Yeah, but
it's like I can't take a
That's the
damage.
thing, they do take the long game approach of niggly fives, restanding, and niggle again.
Yeah, so
Because
very late
a
game
crit
works.
crits just speed up the game. And if you crit me, as in a Maelstrom build or something, I can't do anything. I can't really keep up because I'm just niggling you, trying to stop you from having a field. But if you just crit me, because they drop their hand, they can't really guard.
Yeah.
It requires a setup, and yes, I build it in a way that does consistently get a setup. But you need like the around 9 grade 3s, like 3 of the Diamantes at the moment, because they need to find it. And it works very well, but I don't think it's... I'm at risk saying it's not competitive enough. The Maelstrom Nor build, I don't think is good enough, because stands are horrible, and you have to get the setup, and out of 3 games, I don't think they're going to consistently win.
I don't know. I just think...
Unless you've got a 10k Vanguard, it's not going to consistently win, I don't
The only
think.
reason I'd kind of agree with you, only because of the fact you need that perfect field setup. As soon as something gets destroyed...
I think I know I've built it in a way that's under the grade 2, it's for 11. I've got the Maelstroms, I've got so many 11k switches, and I've got, including the grade 1 switcher, which no one uses, which is fantastic.
The Counterblast one.
The Counterblast 1 switch. Got 7 normally. You don't need anything higher, because you've got 11ks at the front, which swing for 18, combined with the 7k. So I've got 4 of them, 3 of the Basil, 2 of the Basils, and 3 of the 9k grade 3s. That goes to 11. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 9 switches with 10 beat sticks. I consistently get the field off, but I don't think it's enough. Swamp that I can't guard at the end of the day. Because you drop your hand at limit break, and I've got 4 damage adders that you need to get the effect off. People don't run damage adders, you're mad because you're niggling, and I'm just gonna let Maelstrom hit.
Maelstrom's no threat. You can have all power. Maelstrom isn't on limit break, isn't on that 4th attack. People just alright, sure.
And run the grade 2, never run the grade 1, because as Aaron always says, you can intercept with it. You can get rid of it and then play another one. You just rinse and repeat.
But Glory...
As soon as you ride grade 3, Maelstrom, you need to damage add to 4.
Just Glory... I understand everyone goes, Glory's the first attack, big whoop. But it's... You pretty much... Alright, if I can't use my perfect guard, I'll use my triggers, and because it doesn't fit in with the deck, it just seems so contradictory to what Act Force do, that it's just can't blast 1, you can't use grade 1s or higher to go.
Yeah. They need a boss card to finish though. They have a pressure card, but it would have been nice to have a boss card, but I wasn't looking for something like this. It's silly with crits in there. People go, just run stands and crits. No, because you attack with Vanguard last and you crit, I'm going to be so annoyed because I'd rather get a stand and do that. People just chuck in 1 or 2 crits just to throw off your opponent. Yeah, you can sack into it, but a lot of the time you're not.
I shouldn't worry about it too much for now, though. I mean, as I said, I see it as a tech card personally, but it's all going to change come Break Ride stuff. You can Aqua Force and this, that, and the other.
So, no, I wouldn't base a deck around it. Yes, it's a tech card. I love the effect. if I run crits, and as a finisher, it's quite nice as well. In fact, it's 11. It fits in with the deck well enough. But Maelstrom's your boss card, and you need to find it. The deck doesn't really do a hell of a lot.
Pretty much.
Okay, want to move on to mine now?
Yeah.
You can have your Platina.
Platina Ezel!
Rubbish.
I've actually been playing it a lot more since the deck breakdown and card fights and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
I've actually...
a few negative comments on that one.
Yeah, I know. Shh. Regardless, I'm actually enjoying the deck a lot more now. I actually quite like...
Is that because it's got Vivian in it?
That was my suggestion. Oh god.
It might be.
The amount of arguments we have, guys, in terms of just
Trip over Vivian. Well, trip damage over Vivian.
It's such a petty argument. Trip over Vivian.
I'll actually let you explain it because you explained it enough to convince me to use it. So.
Okay, right. Well, in a Platinum Ezel build, you counterblast that. You need to do that to win. Whether you like it or not, that is your pressure. That is your I'm going to win this turn. That's a counterblast of 3, right? You need 3 face up with a damage add because if you put someone to 5, you're a muppet, alright? With a Platinum Ezel.
Oh, unless you've got 29 cards in hand.
Yeah.
And all your perfect guards are I'm safe. I got this. I just perfect guard that. Perfect guard that. Perfect guard that.
Unless you got that, you need 3 face up. So when you use a damage adder, you counterblast 1, add another damage. So you're on 4 damage with you can have 1 face down. Now that 1 face down can either be your starter. If you haven't got a grade 3, then use it. If not...
Oh yeah, I changed my start to Coron, by the way. It was Spring Breeze, remember?
Oh god, okay, yeah.
See, I think it's either Trip with Spring Breeze or Vivian with Coron.
Yeah, okay.
There you go. Because you changed it there, I was like, what the hell? Because why are you flipping up that damage? You're not. The only thing you can blast for is a Slagle Dagger. That's it. If you flip the 1 damage up, because it's the only one kind of blast you use. If you use a Zel's effect, you're not using Platinum's effect because there are 2 phase down. You're on 4, and you can't unless someone pushes you to 5. You're not going to activate Platinum's effect. So the whole point of Vivian is just a pressure card at grade 2, just to get another card. Doesn't matter what it is. I'd rather ride that and plus than flip up a damage and possibly search for a grade 3 just because I need to counterblast. A 5k is fine, alright? You don't need to change it. There are plenty of times which I've left it there, playing your build, and just abused the normal Ezel's effect and left it as that.
Yeah.
And the rest of the counterblast is with pressure with Vivian, it's fine.
Yeah. So that was the reasoning why we've actually now got Vivian in the build. But as he just said, sometimes normal Ezel is a lot better, and I completely agree. I can hit numbers a lot better with normal Ezel than I can with Platinum, unless I've got the ultimate break.
Didn't I re-ride Ezel once?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Mid-game, I had Platinum Ezel.
So...
And I was like, sod it. So I rode it, just counterblast the 4 damage I had just sitting there.
Oh, yeah, it's so viable just to do that, fill your field, get massive power boost, and swing for game.
That's good enough on its own.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. You can change... If you've got a great hand and you can drop your field, then you can go for Platina. If you've got pretty rubbish field, then you just go, alright, I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to use just normal Blind Ezel, counterblast, try and get some field out. And then you can keep that hand advantage to guard it. So if you get heals or...
Pretty much that.
Yeah, then you can go, okay, I can now push.
And it's for that reason that initially I thought, well, you need to ride Platina Ezel. I'd rather... How do I say that? I initially thought that the Crossrides is either very, very important, or I have to ride the 11k base Platina because it just makes it easier for me to guard and 20k columns can't hit me as well.
Why are you running the Superior ride?
Why? Because I just hate it.
You need to give about more reason.
I know.
See, I like them, so...
The only thing I think of is it negs you way too much, and at least your starter does something.
If you go first and you actually Superior Ride on turn, then you actually break even. If you go second and you do it, you actually think you'd neg yourself 1 because your opponent still gets that drive check, like double drive check before you. So
the reason you break even is because your grade 3 ride, you just Superior Ride, you plus from the deck. You're not riding over your...
Now, it's actually viable in the Platinum Ezel build because at the end of the day, if you're cross-riding, you're going to neg yourself anyway. So if you neg yourself in the ride chain, you actually get an advantage over your opponent because it's a turn early compared to when you just re-ride normally.
I think a lot of the time, though, I don't fear it because...
But what
I hate multiple attacks. If you're attacking with 1 and I know guard it, that's just 1 damage.
Yeah.
You're taking you're saving me guard because I'm not guarding 3 times.
What I really don't like about the Superior Ride, though, is not so much the neg, it's more so that the starter is Criff and you can't do anything with it. You have to replace it.
Back right.
Well, that's what I said. The starter's fine.
That's what I mean. I like Coron as a starter because at least I can do something with it.
Yeah, it's a
if need be.
That's far more consistent. So check the top 5 and search for a grade 3, then do the Superior Ride and get a grade 3 that way.
Yeah.
Plus, it makes you run the 10Ks.
And I need to run the 10Ks, which I just don't have room for. Because you need the 12Ks, you need the Vivians, which is cool,
It's amazing.
and you need the damage adders as grade 2, because one you can use them and then you just insert with them and get them away, but still you can hit nice 18, 15 columns.
Also, you can count if you got 2 face up, counter blast, go to limit break, counter blast.
Yeah, like I did that one time.
That was terrible.
What was it? I was on 3 damage add to 4, limit break with Ezel, called another one, did the last one anyway, put myself to 5 and ended up putting 2 heals back.
Damage is amazing because you
And
can
two
send
intercepts.
first as well. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like so you can
But
damage adders you can use.
with that said, Platina Ezel's great, nice finisher. It doesn't always actually finish them off.
But
The thing about the ultimate break with that though is that the Vanguard's actually the easiest one to guard.
yes, I was about to say.
Yeah.
The reason we're going over them as well is to go over the pros and cons of them. We can't just say this is what it is.
Because-
We've realised the guarding systems for it. So
Yeah,
as
so
I've
for
been-
Platina, basically you just guard to the
it's
pass
like-
on the Vanguard because it's the easiest one to guard. You
so
just
you-
save your perfect guard for the rear guard.
It's only got a 5k boost at the back. You let one of the rear guards through that hasn't got the crit.
If they
and
both
then-
have a crit, then you're unlucky. But either way, you perfect guard one of the sides because it's a lot harder to guard.
So at the end of the day, it's not a massive.
Well, what's the specific Vanguard booster? Which is
Tron.
Is it
This
more?
little fighter Tron, more than your opponent.
So it's not evil.
More
Evil,
rear
it's
guards than
more.
your opponent, which is why I don't use it.
Because if you, it was used against me, and we both had a full field, so his Vanguard was so easy to guard. It was like,
Yeah.
is that?
And
what's that?
it used it against me and it worked because I was using Great Nature. I kept negging myself a card to search. So I had one less
Yeah.
card on the field every turn.
That's what I was like.
So
that's
annoying.
But because the Platina's Ezel is only for the rear guards, it misses that 1-5k because it's the Vanguard. So that's the easiest one to guard, ironically. To guard that easy for like 2 to pass, which is usually only about 20.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, about 20.
Yeah.
Unless you're really unlucky, you're going to put a crit in it or something, 25. So then you perfect guard the rear guards like that. But I wouldn't say that the cross ride is mandatory. It's
No.
nice if you can get it off.
Well,
But-
you sort of only get it off for the push.
The main reason I like the Ezel build in general is because you can either Vanguard, you change your playstyle to match that.
Mm-hmm, pretty
It really
much.
doesn't matter which one you ride. I wouldn't cross ride unless you haven't counterblasted at all this turn.
Yeah.
But even then, I'd probably call it a rear guard and use Ezel's effect and use Vivian or something. Or use a starter's effect to try and get grade 3, just to use
No, you don't
numbers.
even need to use it. Sometimes I just go, I don't need it, replace. But it's nice to have that option there.
Yeah.
It's just options.
Yeah, sit behind 13, it's all lovely, but the amount of decks now which just go, I can make 18s like that.
People are wise to it, so they.
But it's the option where if I ride this normally, if I ride just Blonde Zone normally, I don't have to do it. It's just you can change. It's changing playstyle. I have Platina. Well, if I drop this, I can do the effect and push. But do I need to, considering what the situation of the game? Like, would it actually do anything if I push now? He's on like 3 damage. I have to hope for like double crit for on like one of my rear guards. Which we just explained. Kind of 2 to pass on Vanguard and just let the rear guard. You perfect guard rear guard.
Yep.
So I think that covers Ezel pretty much. So moving on, we've got,
Here is the blood!
which we finally got hold of.
What up, blood?
I love the blood.
What's
My
it do?
Crossrides
What's
had
it do?
What do I do, Yuri? I don't know what I do.
What it does is it slightly annoys me on the fact that it's normal break and 3 counterblast. Because why wouldn't it be the same counterblast as Vermillion? Why wouldn't it? That would be stupid for it to be different. But it gets basically the same effect as Vermillion, except for it gets plus 5k instead of 2,
3.
3.
Is it 2?
I thought it was 2.
Might be 2.
Basically plus 5 instead of the other one, and a crit.
Yeah, it's 2.
I told you. Yeah.
That's your deck.
I know shit. And yeah, you just but it's on 5. So I find what I love doing is I love going with Crossrides because I love having 13. Because if I poke your rear guards, you really have to rejig your field. Or if you have a Poxy field which is just hitting 16, then I can just poke stuff, and it's like, well, it's not hitting 18.
Again, it's comparable to Ezel in the sense that you'll change the playstyle according to what you have as your Vanguard.
And
Not really.
And,
No, that's what I mean. You wait to the damage head to 5 or something.
No, I mean, is they're both the same card, basically.
Well,
yeah, but I'm just saying you do it later with a crit, or you do it early with normal Vermillion.
Well, because the counterblast in the deck, I only really use if I've got it basically spare for Death Scythe, or if you have no field and there's no reason to poke your 2 things at the front, but you have like a booster. I just put a sniper booster. It just comes down to the fact that you when you get when your opponent does their full field attack, you go, okay, I'm now destroying your 2 front rear guards, and it's like, oh, okay, that's 2 from my hand if I want to get an attack out. Plus, I've had to guard. Yeah, everyone says, oh, just perfect guard it. But say you don't have a perfect guard, it's the +5 and a crit. So that's hitting 18 if you've got a Crossride off on his own, which is pretty good against most things. Plus the booster, and the specific Vanguard booster in Narukami, it's too easy to get. They have to have 3 damage. Well, if I've got 5 and they don't have 3, I've lost anyway. So what's the point? It's just okay. So
I think that's what makes it a bit stupid. The fact that your Vanguard booster is just easily accessible.
But the support, the other support, there isn't really any.
No,
that's the issue. Like the draw power is draws and Phoenix, but you only can do 1 Phoenix. If you do 2, you lose the Crossride, or you do 2 if you've got all the crit triggers in the world in your hand. You put one into Soul Down 3K.
Or you can reride.
Same thing. I can reride. That's fair. I could reride, but most of the time I have no rear guards either, so I can't have a drop as a rear guard.
I think it's annoying because Vermillion decks don't really do much at all. They do 1 effect, maybe 2, and it's not even.
You do have to run damage.
I don't even think
on flippers and adders if you want to get the blood. I will always go Vermillion, and then pretty much as soon as I can, Crossrides. Then if I got 3 face up, damage add to go to 5.
it nicks you 2 for the counterparts of 3, so I don't see why it's competitive. In my head, the deck doesn't really do anything.
But yeah, facing it, it's really annoying. Because you're like, I've got my field! It's all gone.
Well, this is just it. I mean, the way I play against the Vermillion personally is that I tend to save my better rear guards, especially my grade 2s in my hand, and just drop my grade 3s down instead, so when they do it, I'm not losing any guard. And I've still got interceptors for when I've replaced them.
Yeah, but that's kind of, also, you say you got interceptors when you replace them. That's why you run the grade 1 you can't intercept, because it's such a good card.
So annoying.
Can't intercept. Wait, what?
I take an intercept, can't intercept.
Yeah.
Cheers, Josh.
Or that Poxy Street Bouncer you got, you want to poke? No. It just stops that.
I think he's talking about specifically my decks here.
It's because you've got really annoying decks. But it's that extra 5, you're stopping them.
My favourite decks, Blue and Greenwich.
And you can do it early so before you do your Limit Break or Armor Break, or you can do it late after you've done it, so they've had to drop that, and it's that stopping that 5, but they think they've still got that 5 to use. It's like, no you don't. So I can swing. Also means you can swing over a good column if they've got a Poxy column, but they've got that 5k intercept. So it stops. So you can say you're going against Shadow, it stops your main number way woman. Because she's doing nothing on her own. And I'm like, you can't intercept, you can't even guard it with her. Ha! It's that sort of thing. It just, the deck does nothing, but at the same time, it's really annoying. Because there are little things which make it competitive. In my eyes.
No, I get it. So would you say the Crossride is like you have to get it off, or
you don't have to? Like you can go the whole game without getting it off. But if you get it off, it's a nice 13 base. Its effect is better, despite what people say. It is better than the original because it gets an extra crit. Power without a crit, nothing.
I personally think the reason why people say it's not as good is because it's an ultimate break. You can't do it as early and as often as the normal Vermillion of just wiping out their front field.
As often?
Oh, you know what it's like. Vermillion, damage on flip, heal. Do it again.
Right. This is what annoys me. Everyone goes, oh, I get like 9 of the... I get Vermillion's effect of like 9 times. What? Because people are just going, you know what? You can not feel that damage. That's cool. I just don't get how they do it. They're like, I only run like 2 damage on Flipper, but I get like 4 of them off. Who are you against to get this off? Because I want to face them. Because apparently they're stupid.
The only thing I think of is if you do Vermillion's effect at 4 damage to come plus 3, and then you drop your damage on flippers at the side, and hopefully one of them will hit, and then you can wait until 5 and do it again.
Yeah, no, but it's depending on how early they want to drop. Depends on if you hold back the blood and go Vermillion's effect. If you're on 4 3 face up.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
It's little technical things of the deck which make it slightly harder to play than I think most people think. I mean, most people think it's just, oh look, I can do it. And it's like, okay, you just wiped out rubbish. Good for you. Well done. Have a cookie.
I think when I was playing your deck the other day, actually, every time I had the chance, you had only one rear guard in the front.
Yeah.
And it was like, what's the point? What's the point?
But it's like, yeah, and then so later on, if they've got nothing, but you want to push, it's the +5 and the crit. It's the +5, which means as an automatic barrier broken. So
it's such a heavy cost.
I know that is a heavy cost, which is why if
hey, Eternal Flames, same cost.
Eternal Flames. Oh yeah, that's an amazing.
Except if I get crit.
Eternal Flames is an amazing card. I restand if you don't guard it.
But if I do it on my Vanguard, I get a double drive chaser. But it's the whole I can do it. That's +5 in the crit, or you've got nothing. You don't have a field. You're on like 5 anyway. You're on 4. It's gonna be crit for game. Mm-hmm. And you probably will have perfect guard, or you overguard the Vanguard no matter what. So I just drop Death Scythe and snipe off that booster you've got, which is only thing keeping you alive.
That's why you're trying to couple.
Yeah. So in case you don't get the damage on Flipper off, it's free for Vermillion/blood, and then you've got 2 left for.
Yeah.
So what's your starter?
My starter's Grade 3 Searcher, just because consistency wise, you don't have to, but it helps so much if you can ride Vermillion first and then go into the blood. Otherwise, you're sitting ultimate brain and going,
I'm guessing you run.
And also, in comparison with the Ezel, it actually matters if you flip up that damage.
It does. So you run 3 to 4 damage adders on flippers. I run 2 damage adders because people will just have you go, haha, you're at 3, or you're at 4, you can do nothing. And I'm like, alright.
You'd run more, surely.
I think it's...
you can't fit them in.
I think that's it. There's space issues, isn't it?
Yeah, because you have to get... I find you kind of need the 12k swingers because it makes your boosters good.
You guys a third, language. Just...
It's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be beat.
I know, but it's gonna be bloody annoying.
But it makes your boosters good, and it just helps so much in putting some beat down on. Plus 12 gets over 11, so you just without a boost you can just swing, and they have to guard 5.
But you need to run 4 damage on flippers, in my opinion. You need to. You say you run 2 Death Scythe, so you have to take out a 12k swinger to add the damage adder. Really?
No, so I only take the Death Scythe damage adder because I just run 3.
Oh, okay.
But
so, I don't know, because I like the idea of Death Scythe in there.
For a very simple car, we've gone on it for quite a while.
That's the problem. The problem is, even though there's very little support for Namakami at the moment, and there really isn't. Like, you look at their options, they don't have much. But for what the sort of the viable cards, it's the ratio of the number you put in the deck, which is where the technicality comes in building that deck. Yeah. Whereas in some decks, like say Daiyusha, you just put 4 of the Dialander, 4 of the 7k one, because you do. They're Robos, you have to.
Yeah.
But whereas Vermillion, it's, well, if I run 3 and 3, is that better, or do I need to run 4 and 2? And you start thinking, well, what's my ratios having to be? But as in, like, some other decks,
Okay, yeah, I get it.
And I run 3 blood because you don't want to ride it first.
That's fair. That's what I do in Platina now. Only 3. So, moving on. Now we've had a lengthy discussion on the blood.
Alright, can I swear?
You get to...
Can I swear?
I don't know, can you?
Illuminal Dragon is so It is so It's terrible. It's like, I originally thought, oh, amazing, they get Crossride. It's a Counterblaster 3 to stand 2 units. People say this card is amazing, but it's not.
What's your support at the moment for it? You've got a grade 3, a grade 2, and a grade 1 Beast Deity.
Yeah.
and you've got
This is just
it's
it.
original.
It doesn't matter. I'm talking about playability now. Don't talk about playability later on.
No, I'm talking about playability now. You've got 4 other cards.
It doesn't matter. The point being is its effect.
You can't run the grade 3 because you run Illuminal anyway.
At least the effect's a Lumen Break 4. It's not Lumen Break 5. But Counterblast 3 stand 2 units.
That's worse than
It's still worse than Counterblast 3. Platinum. Throw it 5Ks at everything on the field for that cost. The Blood of Vermillion wipes my field out with that. I only stand 2 units. Big whoop.
Oh, but the 2 units you stand can get plus 3k.
Wow. Wow. 2 like 12k swingers on the side, or a column again. That is not worth 3 Counterblast. I know you can flip it up. I know you can do it again maybe if you base a deck on doing that. But the deck is so slow and you have to seriously sack to make it any good at all.
Plus, if you're going against Novas,
Novas aren't a defensive build. They are an offensive build.
Yeah.
Regardless of what deck you run, they play offensively. Things hit, things restand. You know, you got to threaten them with things. That's not a threatened card. Like, you don't fear anything happening. It's just
It's like it happens. I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Yay, stand. God for 10.
Well, it's that in turn. That's what I'm doing.
It's the fact that what you're doing. It's just it's in a similar. It's not, but it's a similar aspect to Platinum where your Vanguard's not really the threat. Your threat is the things you restand.
I don't know. I don't know why. Platinum's just you get a lot more out of it.
But what I mean is that because it's not got an extra crit, it's not really got extra power.
I'd rather compare it to Vermillion, because at least with Vermillion it's the same cost. You still got the Vanguard attack.
And you wait for it as well. No, that's how you activate it as soon as you're at 5.
Best case scenario, you're negging the 2 front interceptors, so that's 10k shield.
Yeah.
So if you're standing a column, that's 10k guard, or 2 fronts.
But if you get trigger or something, then I'm just getting rid of some poxy columns that you don't really want anyway.
Yeah. I don't know.
Admittedly, you can attack with it last, so I can go rear guard.
Low.
The only thing I'd probably do is go 9k to rear guard, 9k to rear guard, if you have 9ks, Counterblast 3 to restand, and then break barriers in each side column.
Mm-hmm.
It's the main reason I see it happening.
But I think the second reason you don't really like it is because it's a free, and the fact that means that you haven't got many other options of what to put in.
No, I can't run my lovely Carrara in there.
that was my main hint there.
But everyone says, "Oh, just run damage on flippers." You mean the grade 1 you drop? Well, you can't restand that, and you can't get rid of it. So you're going to neg yourself next turn to drop something over it, a better booster. I just don't get that.
It's always hungry dumpty.
There's an archetype.
Again, you can't restand it.
It's a supporting build, but only I made it work best in a Kaiser build with Azura Dragon with the new support. That's good because the grade 1 hits, you can restand the grade 2 or 3.
So you just dropped Illuminal entirely in there.
Drop Illuminal entirely. The only reason I'd ever use it is just for a cross ride if my rear guards were doing more than they are. I would, but Kaiser is such a better option to have as a Vanguard or a Azura Dragon. It's useless. It's just there for the 13 if you really wanted to run it.
Well, it's because it's specific Beast Deity, and at the moment there just isn't enough Beast Deity.
I can guarantee you come set 10.
I don't think I still run it. It's come
You've got the ride break, you've got a bunch more cards coming out, you've actually got a proper 12k swinger
They'll
for
just
Beast
restand my
Deities.
field. I'd rather break ride something else. We'll see. I guarantee I might try it, but I won't like it.
I just think it's the fact that you can break ride that, so it's okay, stand 2 Beast Deities for you, and stand 2 Novas for the break ride. Yay.
Well, I get a restand my side columns and attack again. It's nice, but it's not like broken.
Oh yeah, but it's supposed to be Counterblast 3 restand your field. It's the view on it.
Yeah, but I'd rather break ride. I'd rather attack with a side column, where break ride or whatever you do to restand that column again, and have a better Vanguard.
Yeah, no, I understand, but
I get it. Don't get me wrong.
It's just it was in the show. It was all of the show, but it's in a deck at the moment now. I don't see it being competitive.
It's not competitive at all.
Unless
you can argue the point, but you want stands and stuff. It's not competitive enough.
Well, your options are basically
The
your
Vanguard-
grade 2s to get a power boost, but you only have 4, or your grade 1s, which is your 4 and your starter. So that's 5.
See, the grade 1 is what I like the most about the new Beast Deities support.
Yeah.
What do you do?
That is just the key card.
The grade 1's amazing. The grade 2 is just a lovely bit of support to it. So even in a Kaiser build, I go, okay, restand.
I think it forces you to run
gets-
stand triggers, which I don't think you can do.
No, you can't. Not in a. The original Nova idea was everyone runs stands. It's broken. No. Kaiser stands up by itself.
Yep.
What we need is a guy in the back left, which all you need in a Kaiser build. Just run guys. You're bound to find one eventually, and just put it in a column on one side or the other. Attack with it first.
That's what I mean.
Stand.
It's sort of forces you to run stands. So you've got a heart ace stand, like, but you have to have 2. Otherwise, it says it is up to 2, isn't it? Yeah, up to 2. But I'm gonna count +3 to stand 1 unit.
Yeah.
That's worth it. I mean, I'm so negging you here. Stand.
So,
Well done.
yeah.
And double stand is like, well, that's stand 2 units, so I double stand, which is no count +3. Granted, it's required.
So out of my 2 new Crossrides, I'm using none. just
Well done.
Just glory for a backup, and it's pretty naff in my build.
Late game, it can push.
That's what I mean. We'll go back to glory.
I'm referencing something like
It's
that,
referencing his old stuff.
you know, we're going to over evaluation at the end, but yeah, to summarise, to finalise, we're going on to the Sun Amaterasu.
What's that card? I don't know what that card is. It doesn't. I just don't know.
Well,
I just don't know.
It's just.
Right,
I don't even know what to say about
It's
it.
an Oracle Think Tank card, which you run.
I know what it is.
Yeah, I know.
I know what it is. I just.
Counterblast 2 to add whatever you want.
It makes one not
How is that not good?
It just-
You add whatever you want. You can add perfect guards, that's what everyone says.
I like that.
In my opinion, it just may as well
I like
not
that perfect
exist.
card. I like
I
that
really don't like the card. I can't really say much else about it. Okay, it's nice. I mean, I don't even.
Well, right, you can't run it in Soulless.
Amaterasu normal, I've always said was a broken card from day one.
It is.
I love that
Check
card.
top card. Put it to top or bottom. Trigger. Put it to top.
Yeah, it's not a trigger, put it at the bottom.
Yeah.
So you basically every time drive checking 3
Gets
times.
4k if I've got 4 or more cards in my hand. Well, that's already making it easier to hit numbers than the Sun is.
But the Sun...
The Sun's at 13, man.
The Sun might not even be an Amaterasu build, it might be a different build.
I'm not even sure.
Have you tried it in a different build that doesn't run a normal Amaterasu?
Regardless, I just don't like the card.
Doesn't work in Soulless. Well,
I like the card. It's come us 2 just to get anything.
I don't see it as much as a
There's
threat.
a rewrite on
is.
Soulless.
Whatever you're missing on the field, you can get.
Or whatever missing in hand you can get.
I'm missing my Vanguard booster specific, okay? Or the 8k on the side that makes your column useful.
My issue is you have
Or-
your limit break
or-
and it's counterblast 2.
Or
Everything in Oracle
You can
is going to
text
counterblast 2.
You can text something and find it.
I know, but
I would prefer to rewrite Coco to draw 2.
you can't do that because it's limit break.
Yeah.
The issue the main issue I have with it is because it's limit break. We're assuming it's mid to late game,
Yep.
which means that my opponent's going to be at 3 to 4 damage as well.
Yeah, they're going to guard
It's
it anyway.
not going to hit.
That's
People
their Vanguard
aren't
as well.
going to let it through that at that point in the game. What?
If I has to hit a Vanguard as well, it's just...
Yeah,
Let it get swing your rear guard. Okay, I can't add. Well, that was worth it.
Because it's mid to
Amaterasu
late
can
game,
hit-
it's not
Amaterasu
gonna-
can hit.
Yeah.
A normal Amaterasu.
yeah, I like that. I just like that better as a card, but
So you tried to make a build around building the soul up and making Amaterasu on the rear guard as a threat, and CEO
it's just
Goddess of the Sun as a Vanguard.
about shush.
Well, right, but why wouldn't it work, say, in a Soulless build as your alternate to Coco?
Why wouldn't it?
Right, say you can't ride Coco.
Think of it as a card in general, not
Yeah,
for
card in
Amaterasu.
general, not like the Crossride, but yeah, effect. Its effect itself isn't
It's
bad,
not that bad.
but I would prefer Amaterasu itself over Goddess of the Sun. Sure, but say in like a Coco build, why wouldn't you run it? Because the problem is everything counterblast 2, pretty much to draw a card or whatever. But this
I think it relates quite nicely to something like Garma or Necromancer or something like that. Because it's a counterblast 2 to either revive or call something, but it's to your hand, hence it's limit break.
But it's
Because
a hit.
if... Yeah.
I know, but as
It's
people
counterblast
say,
2
it's
to do
like
something.
perfect guards, like best case scenario.
Counterblast 2 is a +1 in some way, I thought.
When I made the deck, or my version of it, which was really naff, but it's not the point.
We're just practicing on around.
Whenever I actually got it off, which was a few times, I just added a crit trigger. Because it was 10k guard, and that was what...
And you needed that, really. At the
That's
time.
what I found was the most useful. A perfect guard's great if I have another card in hand.
but it's
It's not
basically
guard, 10k guard, yeah.
it's basically counterblast 2 to plus, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's on hit, which is why I'm
It's on
again.
Vanguard hit.
It was why again.
So why wouldn't you run? You got damage headers.
If it wasn't Limit Break, I'd be happy with it.
No.
Yeah. If they did,
if they did, that'd be lovely.
Yeah.
I might get some in the extra booster or something.
But it's like, right, why not in Coco? Because is it because you just want to rewrite Coco again and just counterblast you to draw?
No, because I don't always do that.
Yeah, just to clarify, guys, Coco is his current build, and that's what we find to be the most efficient. So that's why we're talking about it.
But that's because, personally, I find as a backup, Sakuya is a lot better.
But Sakuya just bounces your starter back. That's it. You change your play style to rushing and then bouncing.
It's not so much to do with.
I think you need to find a better alternative.
It's not so much to do with the bouncing back to hands. I mean, it's great when it happens because I can do it late game, make some pop columns. If you hit Crossride, I bounce everything and rejig my field. What I like about it is the 4K. That's why I like it as a backup. Is the fact that I can hit 21s and pretty easily.
Well, the 4K. So that's why you're right. Basically, because you have a Vanguard with a power boost over just 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's what you had to say. I was just curious because as I see it,
the only way I'd run that in Coco is if I ran milk and I don't like milk, so milk.
I swear the only local thing time you just go is milk. I don't like milk.
Why don't you like milk, Aaron?
Why? I just think it's
you have to explain it because
24 Vanguard hit.
It's 24.
Hitting Crossrides.
That's just it. It's like right.
23 hitting Crossrides.
The only way I could say it makes sense is that it can hit 23 and 24 to hit Crossrides, but I do not care if it can hit Crossrides or not.
Because it's not versatile anywhere else on the field.
If it's going to be Crossrides, it's going to be late game, so all that early game, like mid to late game, when they haven't got the Crossride, only on 11, it's pointless.
Yep.
And it can only go behind my Vanguard. If it was something else, then it could go to the rear guards as well.
You can't afford to not put a booster there straight away either.
Pretty much.
So
it's just, I can understand why people like it, but it's my personal opinion about milk. Regardless, Amaterasu, don't like it.
That's fair. I haven't seen anyone.
Plus, in terms of the deck, you need to run the 12k swinger, the 10k swinger. I don't know. I guess you could run Libra to draw a card.
But then you're counterblasting too.
That's the thing.
I can heal.
That's the idea. You probably do it in a way that threatens them across the board. It's like, I don't want to draw a card, but I want to add a card, which is worse.
Adding the card's worse.
Yeah, I know. So you would guard it'd force you to guard the Vanguard, and then because
but only on limit break. Until then, you just no guard the Vanguard.
We've always said, or we worked out anyway. Decks either have power and threat, or hand advantage and no threat.
Something like that.
Something like that. I think we worked out something like that.
We can't even remember now.
That's really bad. I can't remember, but
it's basically like Agri
because at the end it has threat and power, but no draw power. Something like
draw power, draw power and no threat, or it's got the threat.
No, it's got. What do you mean?
It's got power and a threat, or just draw power,
or just draw power.
Yeah,
it's one or the other.
Yeah,
well, it's been worked out that each deck can do one or the other. Nothing does both. You can try and do both, but it's nearly impossible.
My Soulless. It's like, yeah, draw power.
But my Vanguard's not doing anything.
Big numbers.
Yeah.
Your great nature.
Yeah, it's just plussing. The Vanguard doesn't threaten you. It's just power.
So Amaterasu is kind of threatening, I guess. So
it goes against the idea of the deck plussing.
It is,
which is what annoys you.
Well, no, it doesn't. Does it go against the plussing because you are plussing? If it hits,
because the deck would change. It becomes a threatening build that could potentially.
But no, this is just it though, because it's
you gain an advantage by hitting.
You could turn it into a beat stick build basically because you can run the 12k swinger, which just do nothing but 12k swing, and then you're just like, I have a limit break effect. You go let it hit, or am I going to add what I want? Or you try and tech it in a thing where if it's my subpar, but it's 11k.
It might be better as a tech. It might be like a glory and be a tech.
Because like your subpar or 11k rearguard.
11k rearguard is pretty good.
Because it can make your 5k into a 16.
That's the only good thing. It's the only 11k Vanguard Oracles have got.
Yeah.
Tsukuyomi doesn't count because it can become 9. And Imperial Daughter is just horrible.
That was a backup in Coco would be too bad. Soul Blast, draw. Can Blast go back and Soul.
No, that is a...
Or go back and Soul for the effect or something.
That is a... People have done
that because they just put the start back in and then rewrite again. Oh, look again, woo!
Actually, I want one Soul.
But anyway, we're not talking about that.
Oh no.
I
We
got
keep getting sidetracked.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about building things, how it works. But I think the nice way to summarise it would be just talk about the
I haven't
Crossride
seen
decks in general.
anyone else even
Attempt it.
no one says, "Oh, I can't. My Goddess of the Sun build's broken." I've had people say that Illuminal build's good, Blood's build good, Platinum build's good, even Glory for Christ's sake. People say it's. People hate Glory because it's like, "Oh my god, I can't perfect guard."
And if you're 4 damage, you're going to drop your hand.
Yeah.
It's really good in that sense with a crit deck. But I haven't got around to making a Glory build yet, like solely on him. So
And it's like-
it could be good, it could be bad.
Daiyusha people I've seen use, Shadows I've seen people use, and End, we all know the End, everyone loves the End, it's competitive, it tops, good for it. But I've heard no one say anything good about Goddess of the Sun Amaterasu. No one. People say good things about everything else, and bad things about everything else. All I hear is bad things about Goddess of the Sun. Because it just makes no sense for oracles.
It really doesn't do anything.
It's like
Played Mike with my
Glory
deck.
and Sun make no sense to you, do they?
It's just like...
Played against Mike with my Oracle Amaterasu deck. Sacked crits and stuff everywhere. Managed to win. Look at my damage. Didn't use any counterblast.
I was like, Aaron, what did you do this? I got really irate. I was like, what did you do this game? He was
I
like-
swung
was like-
for numbers.
I was like,
Yeah, his beat stick, and then it's like... Oh,
I was like, I dropped my hand and swung. I was like, right.
It's
So
worse
why'd you
than
win?
Vermillion beat stick. It's worse than the End beat stick. It's just beat stick doing nothing.
The end can do things. It does berserks and stuff. You can activate effects if you're going up.
Most I can do is a Libra.
Nice.
Hey, you could turn it into my like Daiyusha book, except I got a crit.
Yeah, you have a crit.
yeah.
At least that's nice.
So so summarise the discussion. With Crossrides in general, how has it affected the game? Because I think it's slowed down if you're going for the Crossrides, it slows down the game. But if
The
you're
thing
going,
is, most of these decks are just beat sticks. They just swing,
what I
don't
don't
do a lot.
yeah,
There's no
Yeah.
technical Grand Blue, do this, revive this, cool this, solar
That blue is
blast,
so
draw.
competitive, by the way. Jesus Christ.
Or Great Nature,
Different
it's
sets
like,
of different
oh
types.
cool this 4K, retire, draw, double.
And like Angel Feathers, I can manipulate my
Stop
thing.
saying that.
But like Angel Feathers, I manipulate what I want my damage to like either field or hand.
Yeah.
And that's technical. Whereas all these,
They just swing.
this way, the only technical one you can probably argue is the End because you can switch up and start retiring.
Yeah.
Really? Technical?
Well, it's when do you do it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't see...
Granted, it's
Amaterasu
when
not
do I have to
viable.
counterblast? It's
But they can split them up if you want, right? The end is competitive and viable. I think Phantom Blast is viable and competitive. Daiyusha's I think we'll put in the middle.
Daiyusha...
Okay, we'll put it over there.
No, wait. They're all,
they're all competitive.
most of them are, except for those two. Go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for Oracle and Nova, go away. But I find that they're competitive, but Daiyusha is literally just swing, I've got a crit, la la la. Blood is literally the same.
23, mate. 23 with an AK.
Vermillion is basically the same thing. It's just la la la, I'm going to swing your rear guards, I've got a crit, I'm on the blood, blah 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 blah. Again, Ezel is just wait for late game.
Push.
Oh, I've got massive power boost everywhere. They would... Even the End, I guess?
Or the End's...
The End's a bit more technical, though.
Oh,
This
This is what I mean. If you have excess counterblast, you just retire crap anyway. It's like, I have 4 counterblasts. Okay, I just drop Berserk.
Okay. Yeah.
It depends how people play Phantom Blaster, but my way is all about draw power. So I can guard, I can do this, I can hit numbers, la 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 la. So it depends what you want to do with that one. And Glory is just weird.
Always attack in late game if all you've got is a perfect guard and they ride it, you're like...
Do you fancy having a go at ranking them?
Alright, I'm just going to rank that
So right.
first.
The End, I reckon, is like the best one.
I think these three are on par, to be honest.
You reckon?
I think
okay. We'll put the End at the top. We'll put the Sun at the bottom, and we'll put
Illuminal at the bottom.
Probably.
Illuminal. I think it's just as bad.
At least with Amaterasu, I've got a proper 12k swinger and a proper 10k grade 1.
Yeah,
Hang on.
So if
Yeah,
anything...
up there.
I would.
I don't think it's that that good.
I think you'll be surprised.
I don't think it's as good as these.
No, I'll tell you why. I'd say Vermillion or the Blood is like second
I
best.
switched them two around.
It's because the original Vermillion is better. That's why.
The deck is still good without the
Because of
Blood.
the original Vermillion, it's still a powerful deck.
It's
So I'm two Vermillions.
the original Vermillion did top. It did very well at places. I don't know what was as good as gold, but that's because everyone ran gold. Like,
Duke.
Yeah, and Duke.
Bloody Duke. Stop Duke.
But it's like the original Vermillion is really good. The fact that you got the ultimate break is, crap, I've been pushed to 5. Or how can I push back? Ultimate break, have a crit, forces that guard out, and kills the front row. The only way they're pushing you to 5 is if they have to field, or they double crit, and you're like, well, bollocks.
You definitely reckon that's in the same league as Platinum and Daiyusha.
Platinum has that stupid endgame push.
Yeah, I know. I'm not disagreeing with that or that. It's just
My problem with
Blood.
Platinum is Platinum push if they survive the push.
But I'm just saying about the card in general, not the deck.
Well, the card in general, yeah, I think it is.
You think it's the same as... Because that's just stupid. Then, I know you guys can't see, but... yeah, so... This thing is Glory. Is Lord Glory as good as
Glory
Ezel's?
card. You're saying card now? No. If it wasn't in Aqua Force,
So
yes.
if you're saying Glory, as in I've put it in my Maelstrom deck and now I run crits because of it, then maybe.
Well, no, so the playability of the card... If you base the deck around the card, you're ranking them in terms of that.
But this is just it. Even when you made that, it wasn't exactly Glory. It was more Maelstrom has crits now. Yay!
Yeah, most of us crits. My breakdown was that, but if I did the breakdown again, you'd see I run stands. So yeah, because it goes against the build that. So yeah, I personally disagree with the Blood where we rank this, but if we're ranking him in S, A, B, C, you've got the S rank of the End, followed by... You can put this in the description if you want. That'd be nice. You do that for me? I'd say it and you listen to back and type it in underneath.
Okay.
Because the S rank is the Overlord the End. You got the A rank of Daiyusha, the Blood, and Platinum Ezel.
You get so much hate for that.
Why?
I just think people won't put Daiyusha up there. So many people go, it's boring deck. It's fun.
It's got like
it's
crit.
boring and fun, but I'm just saying, as a card,
Yeah.
it's a very good deck.
yeah.
The only thing that is better than that is Majesty, and that's because you don't need you don't need to re-ride for the...
I want it against Majesty.
You don't need the re-ride for the cross-ride, you don't need the limit break to get the crit. It's just stupid.
Yeah, but I want it against Majesty, and he was hitting nothing because I had 13, and he was like, and I was like, where's your field now, boy?
Okay. B rank is Glory Maelstrom and Phantom Blaster Overlord because they're nice additions to the deck, but if you try to base the deck around it, it's not so good. They're both in the same league. And C rank is Illuminal Dragon and San Amaterasu. So the End S rank, Great Daiyusha, the Blood and Ezel A rank, Glory Maelstrom and Overlord, Phantom Blaster, and then Illuminal Dragon and San Amaterasu taking it. This set at the bottom. So anything else to say, guys?
I like how the ranking just came out of nowhere, but okay.
I know, but I thought I think that's a nice little grouping we've done there.
I think that's a nice way to end it. Just rank it where it is. Like,
If the end had a limit break, that'd be down there somewhere with the rest of them.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
I know, and that's the stupid thing about it.
As it goes down, look, we've already done it. There's limitations as it goes down. Limitations, and the cost goes up, and the limitation of doing it goes even higher. The End has no limitation. You can do whatever you want,
Yeah.
and the cost is low.
Yep.
And then he goes down to like Counterblast 3s, but they can consistently Counterblast 3, and their effects are decent.
You should just need to ride properly.
So I think it's just a nice
It's
card.
not even ride properly. It's just ride and be logical about your rides. You know, do I need to pull it out, or do I want? Yeah, basically, you have to get the effect off. So leave the starter in the soul. Everyone goes, "Oh, you're using the booster." Leave it in soul. Trust me.
And you've got nice additions to the deck of Glory and Overlord, and then just useless cards that don't make any sense at the bottom. or I think they're useless.
Well,
Yeah.
the Beast Deity support isn't there, so it's
Because unlike Glory and Phantom Blaster, Illuminal and the Sun don't complement the decks in any way. The only reason I run Illuminal is just because it's a Beast Deity as a rear card to try and restand with a grade 1. And the Sun, just because it's Amaterasu, you might want to cross-ride. Okay, and that was our cross-ride discussion. Thank you guys for listening. Feel free to like, comment and subscribe. And check out our Facebook page, or just give up because we've tried way too many times to ask.
Yeah. Because no one does anything.
I do things, but it's annoying.
It's fine.
There's not enough people, but
We'll sort it out at some point.
all right.
Better.
Make sure you we are curious what your opinions are. If you think that we've got it horribly wrong, why? Don't just say no, you're wrong.
Because that's what, and also
But, try and justify your arguments for saying why you think that. If you think Goddess of the Sun Amaterasu should be up there, please say why and what your
explain
build
why.
is.
Just build.
It'll make no because we can't see it.
We'd really like to see what your guys' opinions are. This is what the discussion's for. To hear our opinion. We've explained. We've been. Thank you guys for listening. I know it's a long discussion, and if the idea is to put our views across to our audience, and you can give us your opinion, and we'll. And also, if you want us to discuss anything else, was I was trying to think of. I was like, what the hell was I going to say with this? Then also put that in the comments. Yeah, we want to hear your opinions on this or that, and that'll be our next one. So yeah,
Thank you guys.
and we'll see you guys later.